Welcome all in this lecture of biological physics. I am going to discuss about the spatial scales in biological systems. So, spatial scales means that is what is the size of the biological scales or the size associated with the biological structures. And it may be mentioned that the size or scale associated with the biological structures run from the nanometer scale of individual molecules all the way to the scale of the earth itself. So this sentence is very important because we know that is biological systems consists of individual molecules and they are in nanometer scale, and if you zoom in or out, then you can move it to the scale of earth. Now how to define such type of scales? For that purpose, what we do actually, that is we take E. coli as a standard structure. So let us look at the figure. Here this is the E. coli, this is our standard, and what we will do, we will zoom in and zoom out from the E. coli. For example, if you take E. coli, then its size is approximately 1 micrometer, and you see that in the E. coli there is a bacteriophage or virus that is attacking this E. coli, this one, this small one. And if you zoom this small bacteriophage, then this will look like this. And this is the size, that is 0.1 micrometer or 100 nanometer. That is the typical size of the bacteriophage that attacks the E. coli. So if you zoom the E. coli, then you will be able to see this bacteriophage, and this is known as the viral capsid. If you further zoom the bacteriophage, then you will be able to see the viral capsid. So this is the viral capsid. Its size is of the order of 10 nanometer, and if you zoom it further, then you will be able that inside the viral capsid there is the viral genome. Genome is the total DNA. So this is the total DNA that is closely packed inside the viral capsid. So this is the DNA, and if you further zoom it, then you will be able to see the structure of the DNA. So this is the DNA, and its size is of the order of 1 nanometer. And if you further zoom it, then you will be able to see the bases or base pairs, and this distance is of the order of 0.1 nanometer. Similarly, if you zoom out from the E. coli, then you see that this is the epithelial cell, and you see this small one is actually this E. coli. This is the E. coli, but this E. coli resides in the epithelial cell. So this one is the epithelial cell, and its typical length is of the order of 10 micrometer. And this epithelial cells actually forms the epithelium system or planar epithelium sheets. So these are the sheets. So this length is of the order of 100 micrometer, and this sheets is actually the building block of tissues, epithelial tissues. So these tissues are in the size of 1000 micrometer. So the point is that if we zoom in or zoom out from our standard system E. coli, then we can go in different systems of biology. For example, if we zoom in, then we go to the DNA and the base pairs, and if we zoom out, then we are moving from cells to the tissue, and if we zoom out further, then there will be different types of organisms. So these are the spatial scales. Now we will discuss it a little bit more details. So suppose we have already shown you, that is our standard E. coli cell, and a roughly 10-fold increase in magnification relative to an individual bacterium reveals the viruses that attack bacteria. That means, suppose starting from the E. coli system, you are magnifying it, that is you are zooming the system, that is 10-fold increase in magnification. So 10-fold increase in magnification means, you see the size of the E. coli, this is 1 micrometer, and if the magnification increases 10 times, then you will be able to see 0.1 micrometer, because this is 1 micrometer, this is 0.1 micrometer, that is 10-point increase in the magnification. If you apply the 10-point increase in the magnification, then we will be able to see the bacteriophage, that means the virus that attacks the E. coli. And you see in this figure, actually we are trying to increase the magnification 10-fold. We have maintained this magnification because you see this is 1 micrometer, this is 0.1 micrometer means 100 nanometer, and this is 10 nanometer, then this is 1 nanometer, then this is 0.1 nanometer. So we have maintained the 10-point increase in the magnification. So that 10-fold increase in the magnification starting from the E. coli cell, that will allow you to see the bacteriophage or the virus that attack the bacteria. And these viruses have the characteristic scale of roughly 100 nanometer. And these viruses are actually made up of a protein cell, which we call the capsid. And in this capsid there is viral genome. Genome means the total DNA. So the viral genome is inside the capsid. You see the viral genome, I have already shown you, that is this one is a viral capsid, and inside the viral capsid there is the viral genome. Now if you magnify it further, then you will be able to see the viral genome within its capsid, and this structure of the capsid are intriguing because they involve the ordered arrangement of more than 10 micrometer of DNA in a capsid that is less than 100 nanometer across. This sentence is very important. You see, that is what is the size of the bacteriophage. The size of the bacteriophage is 0.1 micrometer means 100 nanometer, and the viral capsid its size is of the order of 10 nanometer, but the length of the DNA, that is 10 micrometer. You see, the length of the DNA is much more than the size of the bacteriophage, 10 micrometer in length. But this viral genome is closely packed inside the viral capsid. That is, we are saying, that is the ordered arrangement of more than 10 micrometer of DNA in a capsid that is less than 100 nanometer across. So actually the genome or the DNA is closely packed inside the viral capsid. Now if we magnify it is a little bit higher, that is another 10-fold increase, then you will be able to see the DNA molecule itself. You see the figure, that is if we apply the 10-fold magnification, then we are able to see this DNA molecule. Now DNA molecule itself with a characteristic cross-sectional radius of roughly 1 nanometer and a length of 3.4 nanometer per helical repeat. I will show you in some more details, that is this is the diameter. This is a helical structure. If you look at the structure of the DNA, so this is a helical structure. We will discuss the more detail about the structure of the DNA in some later lecture, but in this lecture we will only tell about the size of the DNA. So this is a helical structure, and if you look from the cross sectional area, so this is the cross sectional portion. So this is the diameter. Diameter is 20 angstrom. So radius will be 10 angstrom. That is why we are saying that is 1 nanometer in cross sectional radius. So 20 angstrom diameter, 10 angstrom is the radius, means 1 nanometer is the radius. So this is the diameter, and one complete turn or one helical repeat means starting from this portion, you see this is turning in this way, that is like this one, and now this one. So we call it a one complete turn. From starting from this portion to this portion, the helix completes a turn, one complete turn. So this length is 34 angstrom. So this length is 34 angstrom or 3.4 nanometer per helical repeat. So this is the size of the DNA molecule. Now another suppose this is if we apply magnification. Now suppose we are zooming it out, then we are moving the following structure. For example, this is the E. coli. Then after zooming out, we are moving to the epithelial cells, that we will discuss now. That is tenfold increase from the size of the E. coli. As E. coli is our standard, then we are increasing the size of the E. coli 10 times. You see, that is size of the E. coli is 1 micrometer. This E. coli cells resides in the epithelial cell. You see the small E. coli cell residing in the epithelial cell. So the size of the epithelial cell is roughly 10 micrometer. If E. coli cell is 1 micrometer, then epithelial cell is 10 micrometer. So 10 times increase. So that is why we are saying that is a tenfold increase in spatial scale brings us to the realm of eukaryotic cells in general. That is, we are moving to the realm of eukaryotic cells. If we increase the size 10 times, then we are moving to the realm of eukaryotic cells in general. This is very important, and specifically to the scale of the epithelial cells that line the human intestine. So these epithelial cells actually line the human intestine, and we use this example because bacteria such as E. coli are the central players as part of our intestinal ecosystem. So that is why we have used this example, because E. coli are the central players in our intestinal ecosystem. Now if we move another tenfold increase, that is another tenfold increase in spatial scale reveals one of the most important inventions of evolution, namely multicellularity. For example, epithelium, that is a cell, but if we increase tenfold from the epithelium cell, then we reach to the realm of multicellularity. In this case, the cartoon depicts the formation of planar sheets of epithelial cells. You see that these are the planar sheets of epithelial cell. This is a single epithelial cell, but if you look at this figure, then this is a planar sheets of epithelial cells. Sheets of epithelial cells means there is multicellularity. Different cells join together to form a multicellular structure. These planar sheets are themselves the building blocks of yet higher order structures such as tissues or organs. So these planar sheets again forms the tissues or organs. And scaling out to larger scale, that is, if you move to further larger scales, then that would bring us to the multicellular organisms. Then we will move to the multicellular organisms and the structures they build. So this is what about the spatial scales in biological system. I hope you have understood this lecture, and the content of the lecture is from the textbook Physical Biology of the Cell by Rob Phillips and others. And I request the viewers that if you want to know some more details, then you go through the textbook of Rob Phillips. And I thank you all for listening the lecture.